Hello, hello, my friends. It's Jennifer McCollum here, business coach for parent coaches and founder of the Parent Coach Club. I have the fabulous college success coach, Dale Troy, with me. Hello, Dale.
Hi, thanks for having me.
I'm so glad you're here because you are going to talk to us about what we can do with our high school kids to get them ready for college before college. And we're going to talk about a couple things that will really, really help our parents of high school kids today. Is that right?
That's exactly right, yes.
Awesome. So Dale, tell us how you became a college success coach and tell us who you work with and how you support them.
Okay, so I have a varied background. I actually started as a lawyer, and I did so because I wanted to help people. Little did I know that it was more about documents than helping people. So over time, I did different things. And now most recently, I was a health coach. And there I really was helping people. But as my kids started going to college, it became obvious to me that there was something wrong with the transition to college because kids were getting there who were really smart kids and they were having a lot of challenges. And there was so much stress involved. And people started asking me if I could help their kids. They thought my kids were thriving and I must know something. I must have some secrets, and I'm a health coach. And it really dawned on me over 4 years ago that there was something that I could be doing to really help these kids, because I really knew what it took to be a good college student academically, as well as all aspects of life because of my health coach background and my own person and watching my own kids develop. So I decided that I would become a college success coach, and I would really focus on being holistic in all aspects of college life: academics, social, physical health, and emotional health. So what I do is I prepare high school graduates for what to expect on a college campus, so they have the strategies and tools that they need, and they can go into college with confidence. Because I think what happens to so many kids is they just think it's going to be a normal move from high school to college, and it's so different, and they become overwhelmed, and they don't even know how to get it under control. So I love what I do because I see how successful kids can be when they practice and when they know ahead of time what to expect, and they have the right tools and habits in place that will help them when they get to college.
That's amazing. I think that I'm going to speak for myself right now, but I've said it so many times, like that first year away is so tough, but it doesn't have to be when you have a success coach behind you. And now you work with the whole family. I understand you work with the kids and you work with the parents as well. Is that right?
Yes, I mean, I have a Facebook group that's for parents of college students, and I will tell you, it's mainly moms. So I have kind of, I mean, not that the dads aren't welcome, but in terms of what I'm offering now, I'm offering what's called the College Moms Club to any women who have kids going off to college, or maybe they have kids that were already in college. So that's my group offering. And when I'm working one-on-one with a child, their mom gets to join the club also as a kind of a bonus for working with me. So, but I view it as working with a family, because even when I'm working one-on-one directly with a student, I'm in communication with the parents, generally the mom, but I'm in communication with them all the time, and they can text me and Facebook message me or do anything, and they know what's going on with their child. That's also a benefit, because oftentimes at this age, teens don't really want to confide in their parents. They don't really want to get advice from them. And if I can let the mom know what's really happening, it's helpful for her as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. I remember when I first went off to school, and I really could have used a community of just, you know, first of all, knowing I'm going to be okay and my child's going to be okay too. And all of these concerns, we are, at home, they're off at school, and we're sitting at home wondering and worrying. So I can see how a group would be really beneficial for those moms, and just knowing they're not alone, and also having you to support both of you, knowing that you're supporting their child and giving them the resources they need to know how to support them too. So that is amazing. Thanks for sharing that.
You're
So
welcome.
today we want to talk about, well, we want to talk to the parents of the kids that are still in high school and they're preparing to go off to college. There's a couple key areas that I know we've talked before we started recording, a couple key areas that parents are always worried about, and where you see either they're successful or not when they get off to college if they can't get a handle on these two things. So let's dive into what those things are, how we can support our kids in high school, get them prepared and ready for a successful college experience. So let's dive into the first one. What is the first thing we
Yeah,
can do to really set our kids up for success in high school to have them ready for college?
sure. Well, I view time management as actually the key to success in college. And the reason is that one of the biggest differences between high school and college is that in high school, there is a very clear schedule and structure for your day as a student. But in college, there is no structure. You have to create your own structure. And if your child hasn't ever done that, it can be kind of like very challenging. And that means also it's not just about classes, because the classes don't meet as often. They meet 2 or 3 times a week, but there's so much what looks like free time, and the free time needs to be used appropriately in order to be really on top of everything that you need to do. So it's not just about studying, it's also about when you're going to have your meals, what time are you going to sleep, how are you going to fit exercise in, all those kinds of things, doing your laundry, cleaning your dorm. You know, they are on their own. They are responsible for their entire life, and you as a parent aren't going to be there to do something for them so that they can save time. And that's kind of what we do as parents of high school kids. We try to make things easier for them. So I recommend now that while they're still in high school, to start to pull back and give them more responsibility and let them see what it feels like to really be in charge of their whole day. And you don't want to just do that without letting them know. Of course, you want to have a conversation about it and say, this is what I think would be a good idea, so that you feel more prepared to be on your own when you go to college. And what kinds of things do you think you can handle on your own? And I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm not going to wake you up. I'm not going to make sure the alarm's on. I'm not going to remind you to bring the sneakers to school. I'm not going to ask you if you did your homework. Those kinds of things, maybe. And there could be other things. So that's what I really hope that you'll do while they're still in high school. And in fact, if you can even get them to use a planner, because that is what is really required in college. If you can get them to use a physical planner, ideally, to really start to think about how they're using their day and to write it down and have blocks of time where they're scheduling themselves to accomplish things. So it's really all about, time management is really about structure and prioritizing and being organized. And so many kids get to college and they have never done anything like that, and they're floundering. So that is probably the most important thing that you can do for them right now.
Yes, and so many things are coming up in my mind, like doing their own laundry, having their own, even knowing when to go to bed. Like, do they really need us to tell them to go to bed so that they have enough energy for school the next day? And cooking meals, taking care of themselves, cell phone use. Tell me when we should start doing this, like at what
Yeah.
age or stage, because it can't be, I see it kind of a slow progression, but it's one of the hardest things to do as a parent is to let go of all that control. So when should we be doing this?
That's a great question. If I could go back in time, because my kids are like way grown, I would start doing it in ninth grade for sure.
Mhm.
And maybe, one little thing at a time. And it would probably take some little bit of effort to figure out, well, what are those things they should be able to do as a ninth grader? They could probably learn to sort laundry and do laundry, but the way you want to do it is you want to first have a conversation, second let them watch you do it, and then third maybe they do it while you watch, and then finally they're able to do it on their own. So there's always baby steps of progression, as you said, before you can just say you're good and you know how to do laundry now. But you can make a list of things that you want your child to be able to do, and then do one at a time over that whole 4 years of high school. That would be like amazing if parents did that.
All right, everyone listening, if your child's in grade 9, you're going to start giving them some responsibility. And I love that they're doing it while they're at home. So through high school, and really realizing like what happens if they don't do it. They don't put the cell phone away and they're tired in class, and they fall asleep in math class in high school. It's a natural consequence. If they don't take their runners to school, they don't go to gym, natural consequence. And that we're putting that control in their hands. And also here, while they're at home through high school, to be kind of a bit of a safety net, but not to rescue them, and to really guide them to understanding the control is in their hands. You can see how beneficial that would be. So time management.
Yes.
What is the second thing that parents can really kind of support their kids through to get set up for success in college?
Well, today in particular, there's so much stress
Mhm.
in high school and college. And college campuses are really seeing an increase in anxiety and depression. Kids who've never had that issue come into college, and they're just it's really become an issue, and there isn't enough support on the campus. And what I found is that kids really don't know how to deal with the stress that they're feeling. And too many of them are opting for unhealthy choices, like I'm going to go party 4 nights a week and that's going to make me feel better. That's not really what we want our kids to be doing. So what I do for college students is I help them understand that, number one, some stress is normal. Everyone's going to feel stress. You can't eliminate it, but what you can do is reduce it on a daily basis and just kind of keep it under control. You don't want it to get to the level where you're just feeling like you can't function and you are becoming on the path of anxiety and depression. We want to avoid that. And the way to do that is to have some go-to tools that are going to really let your body calm down and relax, and they're all I guess I would say mindfulness tools. So things like deep breathing, walking around in nature, playing with dogs, listening to calming music, using a gratitude journal, things that take you out of the stress of the moment and that bring you into a different place. And honestly, the deep breathing has been so effective for students because they can take 5 deep breaths with their eyes closed or open, and immediately they just feel like a different person. Their whole body, relaxes, and they can then move on with their day. So of course, now if they're still in high school, you can help them figure out what those tools might be that are going to work for them, because everyone's different. So they probably most of the kids have never even heard about deep breathing or know how to do it. it's such a simple thing, but there will be something that your child will like to do that will help them just know that they have something that they can go to when they're feeling stressed. And that will make a huge difference if they know that already before they get to college.
Yeah, I'm seeing the benefit more and more of having a college success coach like you, because some of these things, I could tell my kids, and I know a lot of parents struggle with this too. Like we could tell our kids, and it's almost like maybe they hear us, but they want to pretend like they don't and they won't take action. And actually having a coach walk them through these steps would be so beneficial. So tell me how, and thank you for talking to us about this time management and stress, so helpful. Tell me how you work with the kids first of all, and then how that kind of fits in with the moms as well. Like, what does coaching look like with you?
Okay, sure. Well, I have an actual program that's called College Success Formula. The benefit of me working one-on-one is that I can customize it. So if after meeting with a student and I'm asking a lot of questions and finding out who they really are, if I find out that first of all, they have no stress and they do deep breathing or meditation every day, then I know that I don't need to focus on that. So I come up with a plan that really covers what they need. But as I said, it's going to include or can include academic, social, physical, and emotional health. And so we're working together on Zoom, one-on-one. I work on weekends, I work in the evening. It's totally when they're available. I'm very flexible with that. And we have an agenda for this session. And I have things for them to practice when they're not, after the session. And I also communicate with them through texting. They like that, I like that. And I make sure that they are doing what we talked about. It's a little bit different if I'm working with somebody who's still in high school versus in college, because in college, I'm going to focus probably more on the academic part and maybe get into more nitty gritty on studying techniques and making sure maybe they need to email the professor, all sorts of things. I'm going to really understand what's going on with them in terms of their course load. I can do that in high school too, but the focus won't be as much that probably. So that's really it. And it's 7 sessions. The last session, I always leave to kind of review everything and make sure that all their questions are answered and that they are feeling comfortable. And then I do still stay in touch after the 7 sessions. And in terms of the moms, I'm communicating with the moms during this whole period of time, generally on Facebook Messenger, sometimes on texting, and they can talk to me as much as they want. But in addition, I also have a group that they're part of called the College Moms Club, and we meet once a week on Zoom as well in the evening. And so I'm able to kind of let them experience what their kid has experienced and what the strategies that I'm teaching them, so that they kind of understand more about what college life is and what their child is going to be facing when they get there. So it's really good because a lot of the moms that have been in the club, this is their first child going to college. They really have no idea what to expect and what the challenges are. So then they have such a much clearer idea, and they can better support their child emotionally and so forth. So that goes along with it, and it's a really good combination of things, working with the child and then having the moms also kind of be a part of it, but not directly with the child. Because as I said before, the teens don't really want to hear from their parents most of the time, for the most part. And that's also the benefit of having them work with me, because they look at me differently. And probably any third party, like if you think about their relationship with a teacher or a coach on a baseball field, I mean, their relationship is totally different than with a parent. So I'm able to get them to do things that parents can't. I've had so many parents tell me about the planner, which I require. They say, I have been talking about a planner for years. My child refused to use a planner. I don't know how you got them to do it. So yeah, that always makes me feel good because it makes me realize that this is working.
Yeah, I was going to say planner. Good luck. My kids, I've told them all, use a planner. Nobody will. So that is awesome. I'm glad you said that. I wish I knew you 6 years ago, because really that first year away from my oldest was so hard. And just to know that there's someone there supporting them would have been so, like, just a relief, right?
Mhm.
For us to know they're taken care of and that you're touching on what they need. So I like that you brought up that it's very individualized. So looking at what they need and then you focus in that area. That's amazing. So why wouldn't everyone have a college success coach? I am wondering that now. I've got two that are in grade 10 right now. So soon,
Okay.
soon they will need you. And I will need you too. I mean, it doesn't get easier no matter how many, the first, second, third, or fourth, doesn't matter. It's still the same feeling that you're sending your child off into the world and, yeah, trusting that they're okay. So,
Exactly. Yeah.
all right, what do we need to do, Dale, to find you? What is the process now? So, someone listening right now, they've got a child in high school or getting ready to go off to college, or maybe in college already. What's the next step they need to do to connect with you and find out how they can work with you?
The easiest thing to do is to set up a call with me. It's called a college success breakthrough session. And my link is talkwithdale.com. That will go right to my calendar. You can choose any time that's available. And we can talk and find out whether I'm the right person to work with your child. I should also say that I always meet the child as well before I agree that this is going to work. That's a good fit. I want to make sure the child is on board and that there's some rapport and they feel comfortable with me. So you don't have, you don't have to worry about that. You don't have to sign them up without them meeting me. And but yes, having a call with me is really the best way, so I can really understand what your concerns are and whether I can really help them in the way that you'd like.
That's so awesome. I love that you call it a breakthrough session. I love that. Okay, I'm going to leave the links below for everyone to find Dale, book a session. It's a free session, right?
It's absolutely
free session. No
free.
obligation, free session. Why wouldn't you want your kids to have success in college? Get a success coach. That's Dale Troy. Your website, crushcollegestress.com. And if they want to skip the site and go right to your booking, talkwithdale.com.
Correct. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here. I know you're making a huge difference in the world and you're giving peace to the moms at home worrying. So thank you for also taking care of the moms as well.
Thank you for having me and look forward to talking to everyone.
That is great. Take care, Dale. Thanks.